later on. In the meantime, welcome to the show Faraz Ali, Nosheen Lal and Ahmed Malik. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome.
Now, I've seen the trailer to that.
I showed you on my...
I know, it's a bit exciting, isn't it?
You weren't very good.
It is, yeah.
No, that was good, but you weren't very good.
What, in the
on
trailer?
Technical stuff, trying to get stuff. I have to show my phone in it, because you don't even know how to get on the
Well, look, I've got a packed and fantastic mix of guests in our green room today, but first of ever, as ever, it's time for this. Journey of hope, of faith, and of redemption, where worlds and lives and destinies collide. Sounds too much like a sci-fi movie, right?
Well, it's actually a movie that's been produced on a shoestring budget, talking about £1 a day, but has already within a few weeks gone viral with 80,000 hits on YouTube.
That's right. The film explores the concept of the end of time, bringing together actions, reactions, emotions of various characters. We're going to be joined by the director and two of the cast members in just a moment, but before that, let's take a look at the film. This is The Great Collision.
The chance thrown to God when I had nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We are moments away from impact, and wherever you are, if you are with your families, now is the time to bid them farewell.
I'm afraid the miracles, they don't happen. Miracles don't happen. You ever think about death? You know, like, other than the last few days?
That was preview of The Great Collision. Welcome to the show, Faraz Ali, Nosheen Lal and Ahmed Malik. Assalamu alaikum and welcome. So, are you Dr. Faraz?
You're the director. That's correct. Ahmed, you're one of the characters. You play Bilal in the film.
And assistant director.
And assistant director.
Man, can't forget that, yeah. Just to throw that in. And Nosheen, you are Dr. Aisha.
Asia, Dr. Asia.
Asia, sorry. Faraz, you're a doctor.
I am, yes. Well, actually, I'm a hospital dermatology training.
Where did this ambition about, this is your third short film, where did the ambition come from to do a film?
Well, actually, I've done a lot of short films over the last decade or so. And I think as a child growing up, I always had an interest in the arts. And I was just fortunate enough to be part of this school. We were part of the school known as SOBIS. You can check out more about it on sobis.co.uk. It's been running for about 18 years. Right. Every year we do an annual function, as you saw in the trailer. And we show drama and arts and things like that. And over the last few years, we sort of combined the passion of art and drama with media and movies.
So you basically put an annual film show?
Yes, pretty much. But we also have an ambition to have smaller shows and smaller movies in between. And I think credit goes to Dr. Sophia Lal, who set up SOBIS and actually was willing to fund this. I think this is something which the community really
SOBIS as a school, is a weekend school or something?
Yeah, so it's like a weekend school, complementary Islamic school for kids.
Right.
I mean, we develop them holistically.
I mean, this film in particular has had an amazing response. It's just been on the net for just 80,000 views, which is an incredible response. Where did the idea come from? Why did you think that, you know, a kind of apocalyptic vision is something that would capture the imagination?
I think a huge part, I think, comes down to my profession as well. I mean, I come across patients who know they're about to die. And I think that, to a level, we all know we're about to die. And I think when you face that, knowing that you're about to die at a certain time, obviously you're never completely certain. And I think we tackled that in the movie a little bit, though, yes, there's a comet coming, but there are people who meet their demise before the comet actually hits, which I think is a message in itself. Yeah. But I think it's more of a reflection on myself. I think knowing we all know that we feel regret and remorse for the sins that we do. But I think the idea is it's never too late, and I think that's what we try to convey.
Ahmed, we see you running there, man. I tell you,
That was very good acting.
That was a proper Hollywood film. I'm telling you. What are you, the assistant director?
Yeah.
Also, you're one of the actors. We can't forget the assistant. You're one of the actors in it.
Yeah.
What's your role? What do you play?
Well, I basically play a vlogger called Bilal. He's a teenager who tries and give hope to the world on the internet to those who remain after said comet hits. And the point is, it's a story to do with an apocalypse, but it's not an apocalyptic story. It's a story of hope. there's a line that my character Bilal says in the film. He says there's hope. There's always hope. Earlier on, he himself said he does not have hope. So, in a way, there's a bit of a story within a story.
So there's a transition of people's kind of ideas as to what's going to happen next to an idea.
You see that a lot.
Nasheen, you play Dr. Asya. And what's your role in the film?
So I'm a doctor caring for a student, for a little boy who's going to die. He knows he's going to die. He's very ill. And so he's had to face his mortality, but the rest of us are facing it now. And even though, you know, the little boy's going to pass away now, it's just like you still have to do your best. You still have to look after them and everything. So there's all of that. And mashallah, like Quran didn't tell us a lot of our characters' backstories or the reasons why our names were picked until after, like when he finally showed us.
So what's the secret?
So like I'm Dr. Asya, so I'm looking after a little boy who isn't my own, like Asya radiallahu anha.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Looking after
And
one
with the boy I was looking after, his name was Isa, but his carer was Maryam. And like all these little stories.
So all these little links. I want to come back to a word that you used there, Ahmed. You said a vlogger. Did you say
vlogger?
A vlogger.
A video vlogger.
Sorry, that's too much for me. That's too much.
You know
I can
what?
understand that.
I actually
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You weren't concentrating.
It was actually in the script today. Reading through our
I
notes.
said vlogger,
He said
and I
that's
said
a mistake.
spelling mistake. They mean blogger. And B and V are next to each other on the keyboard. I said, they just pressed the wrong thing by mistake.
Franz, I mean, why did you pick this particular topic, The End of Time? What was special about it?
I guess it's just something which fascinated me from a very early sort of time. I think you see all these, there's this flurry of movies coming out over the last few years, 2012, all these big sort of end of the world things. So it's not quite end of the world because, I mean, even Islamically we can't necessarily show that, but it's on a grand scale, you know, we record a figure of 3 billion people dying in the movie. And I think that hits home the message that, I mean, we've got all these stories in the Quran about Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. There's a lot of parallels to that. So we try and sort of implement that in the sort of modern time sort of zone. And that's why the name came about, which Ahmed actually came up with, the Great Collision. It's a parallel to the Great Flood, the Great Plague, and it's sort of parallel in modern times.
I remember the film has grossed a phenomenal 200 quid. Right, but I'm saying that because you weren't looking for money.
We were looking for money, and alhamdulillah, I think the most amazing thing is that majority of that donation has been online from anonymous people on Twitter, for
I mean, that
example.
probably is a world record for a film that wasn't looking for money.
Yeah,
They still got 200 quid.
well, I think the whole idea comes because we're actually, as a school, we're expanding. And the reason we made this movie was for two reasons. Number one, for the love of creativity, the love of art. But number two, we actually want a youth center where we can grow as an Islamic school, but also teach media, and which is why we made this movie to sort of reach out a little bit. So people can't do that. They can go to sobis.co.uk, they can donate, they can help us. We're on charity giving, and it really helps because, you know, I hope after today people do donate and see how important this is for the youth.
Well, look, you mentioned the website there, but Sister Nasheen, if people want to see the film in particular, how do they find it?
YouTube, SOBIS Productions.
SOBIS Productions.
SOBIS.
SOBIS.
Yeah.
We have a personal target of 100,000 views. We're on 80,000 at the
Well,
moment.
I think you're going to get there.
You're
If you're
gonna
on
get that.
80,000 in the first week,
There's 20,000 people at
your
least
target
watching
should be
right now.
target should be 10 million if you get 80,000 in the first
Guys,
week.
watch it, please.
Well, Jazakallah khair, and you know what, Ahmed, if you make it big, don't forget us, man.
He's already forgotten me.
You can just see him, huh?
He was sitting on a separate couch out there. So
Good luck, inshallah. We pray it goes well.
Thank you.
And sadly, that does bring us to the end of the show.
It does, but brings us closer to the Maghrib Adhan. That's what I'm waiting for. It does indeed. Thank you very much to all of our guests, to Rabbi Nathan Levi, to Fiaz Mughal.